All right. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Did You Max Jump? 7 questions with Sandy and CMoore. We have a special guest today, so I'll start with the first question. Who are you?
Who am I? Good question. Am I Jamie Broder? Am I Jamie Hatch? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Is it? Or we rocking any hyphens?
No hyphens. I wanted to avoid that, and I like Hatch. It's simple, easy to spell, no confusion there. Sticking with Hatch.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If you were on the world tour now, would you do like what some of our other Canadians are doing and switch to first name? Would you just be Jamie?
I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any other Jamies out there. I mean, I think I might actually be one of the only Jamies playing or was playing, so could work. Maybe the Jamie Lynn, throw the middle name in there. I don't know.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
So, Jamie, how did you start playing volleyball, or why?
Great question. I ask myself that all the time. It's actually funny because growing up, I played tons of different sports, like all the way up until university. Actually, I was still doing kind of basketball, track and field, soccer, horseback riding, dance, skiing, like literally had tried probably any sport possible. And volleyball I loved, but I definitely was not the best at it by any means. But it was just the one that I was always super passionate about going to practice for. Loved playing and felt like I was really improving all the time. And so I wanted to go to university for volleyball. And I was, again, not a top recruit, tried to go to many different universities and was told that I would maybe be kind of like number 12 on the team, or they weren't really sure. And I was actually a setter at the time, which was also kind of funny. But basically it was just a sport I loved, and that just kind of kept bringing me back. It was that passion for the game and kind of just wanting to always go to practice versus, track and field was okay to compete in, but didn't really want to practice running all the time and go to training for that. So
Nice.
What was your track and field events?
I did 80-meter hurdles, 400-meter hurdles, and then long jump and triple jump.
Already jumping.
The jumping ones.
So, you grew up in Nanaimo?
Victoria.
Well, Victoria, okay. And then you went to school in Nanaimo though, first.
Yeah. So I went to Malaspina, which is now VIU. And the decision to go there was mostly because of the volleyball piece. They gave me a spot on the team and ended up being probably one of the best decisions I made. I was a little bit hesitant at first to go to college versus university, more so for the schooling piece. So when I went there, it was always my goal to kind of transfer to university maybe 2 or 3 years in, and that's what ended up happening. But best thing I did for my career, because I got a chance to actually play a ton, get a lot of experience, and get to start and get some of that kind of court time.
And when you transferred, where did you transfer to?
Transferred to UBC. So for my 4th and 5th year, originally went onto the team. Doug was telling me I was going to be a libero or maybe back row specialist, and I kind of just laughed at him, mostly because I thought I was a horrible passer. So like, that's funny. I don't think I'll be doing that. And just kind of grinded my way in practice and worked hard and found a way, I guess, to make sure I was kept on the court. Not necessarily the flashiest player, but just kind of tried to be a good team player and score when I could, be kind of crafty.
Sweet, that's awesome.
So we talked to a lot of kids about this, and I always tell them that it's not a huge detriment. So this is going to be kind of a silly question. So on your degree that you received from UBC, does it say Malaspina on there anywhere, or does it just say UBC?
Just says UBC. Yeah.
Got it. And did your courses transfer in?
They did. So I actually had too many credits because I had done 3 full years, I think, with 5 classes per semester for the whole 3 years. So when I transferred, I did have to repeat a few courses because I couldn't transfer everything over. So at UBC, I ended up doing an extra semester after my 5 years. But yeah, degree was UBC, all that stuff. Transferring was pretty smooth. And again, in the end, was the best possible decision I could have made for myself, career-wise and development-wise and all that.
So you might have to answer this question a little longer because it's going to probably take us down a different path. But if there was NCAA beach when you were younger, would that have been a thought for you, or were you not playing beach at that point in time, or how did that go there?
Yeah, I had just started playing beach. So I was playing beach kind of throughout high school. for fun, and I definitely loved it. Played in BC Summer Games, I think when I was maybe, I don't know, 16 or something like that. I don't know if I would have done NCAA beach or not. That's a hard question to answer. I think I always knew beach was going to be my sport. Again, height not on my side for a career in indoor internationally at least. And so through university, beach was always the game I went back to through the summer. My coaches always knew that that was my love. So perhaps it's something I would have maybe transferred into, but hard to say. I don't know.
Okay.
Interesting. So you played beach through university. Did you win the Van Open while you're in university, like, or still university age? I mean,
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I did. It might have been right after university because I think Liz Cardonier and I potentially played. That would have been probably right around 2008, 2009, something like that. I don't think I actually was. You know what? When I was in university, like, again, beach was still kind of an up and coming sport in Canada, but it wasn't something that people trained for full time. It was very much just a summer sport, almost seen as cross training or something to do if you weren't playing indoor for the provincial team. It wasn't really something people chose to do first and foremost. And so, yeah, the level wasn't that high, I think, for us. And we kind of had to scrounge to find ways to train and find coaches that were around that wanted to train. So huge shout out to Chris Densmore, because he was the one who was always around helping me prepare, because I played in 2 youth world championships, the U21s. And back then I had to try out for that spot in Toronto. We got the spot, and then the national team basically said, like, all right, you're going in a year, figure out how to train, find a coach, and kind of you're on your own. So he really helped us train for that. And there weren't many girls playing beach volleyball, so we actually just trained a lot against guys. So it was kind of just trying to figure out what this whole beach volleyball thing was at a professional level.
so you must have seen
Nice. So you
the game really improving. Your time with the national team, did the competition internally get stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think the biggest change I saw was probably when Leonard Krapp started coaching for the national team and came on board, because he brought a level of not only discipline but also professionalism that Canadian beach volleyball just didn't have, because everyone saw it as just this fun summer sport. You know, you'd play hard during the day, you'd probably party hard at night. You weren't as aware of what you were doing outside of practice in terms of being, you know, really strict in your diet and your training. And he kind of brought that back to us. And he also instilled a belief in Canadian athletes that they could be the best. We were always just kind of thinking like, you know, we're from Canada, you know, winter country, why would we have a chance of winning, or that expectation? And he really questioned that and, yeah, brought that level to Canada that no one had really had before.
So you kind of alluded to it, but how tall are you, and how many times have you been told you were too small?
Oh, so many times. So I'm actually 5'7". I thought I was 5'8" or 5'9" for the majority of my career. Turns out that was just the shoes I was wearing. All of my coaches, indoor, Doug, Shane Hyde, all of them thought that I was around 5'9" or 5'10", because, you know, you always pad your stats on the roster. So I said I was 5'10", like clearly not even close to that. And I still was told I was too short. So I think the video from UBC when we're playing at national championships, the announcers keep talking about how small I am at 5'10". She's tiny on this court. Everyone's over 6 feet tall, and she's 5'10" power hitter. And meanwhile, I'm thinking like, haha, I'm actually 5'7". But yeah, tons of people have always told me that. And, you know, more than anything, it's just motivated me, because it's frustrating. It's the one thing you really can't change. Like, how are you going to grow taller? Not going to happen. So I just always tried to find out what else it was that I could be working on to improve, rather than trying to focus on the one thing I couldn't change.
So about what time did you realize in your career trajectory, you thought, oh my gosh, I can make the Olympics?
Took a long time to actually believe that. I think probably, I think I'd already been kind of competing on the world tour a little bit. And then once we started working with John May, Christina and I started training with him in 2013. And he was the first person who came into practice. He didn't even really know us before this at all. We kind of blindly reached out to him because we heard that he was a great coach. obviously knew his history in coaching, and he came in and he said, "You guys are going to win a gold medal." And we kind of just laughed, like, that's hilarious. Like, no, we're not. Because you're going to win. And he just kept saying it with a straight face, and we kind of, haha, okay. And honestly, the months went on where he kept saying that every day, and we kind of stopped laughing eventually. We just worked hard in practice. The more he said it, the more we started to believe it and really internalize that. But I don't think it was until maybe even 2013 in that season where we had a little bit more success, where we actually truly believed it. It was always a goal, but in the beginning it felt more out of reach than it did in the later years.
Cool. What was your biggest your highest finish and your best payday in the World Tour?
Highest finish was our gold medal. We won the beginning of 2015 in China, but that was an open, and so paydays were not great in opens. So I think our best payday was probably when we came 4th in Croatia, which was one of the major series or grands. Yeah, it was a major series.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, something like 20 grand or around there.
Oh.
It's always US, which is nice.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
That covers a couple plane tickets.
Yeah, after years of just flying around the world and losing, it's nice to finally win some money.
Nice to finally have a weekend paid for. Okay, so we have a couple not so serious questions now to finish up. So what's the best thing? What's the best one thing and worst thing about being married to someone who's also like a world level athlete / volleyball player?
Yeah. Oh gosh, there's so many. Okay, best thing would be, I think, that understanding of kind of just the ambition that we have as athletes and now outside of our athletic world, just in life, and really supporting that. So he's my greatest supporter for sure, and really understands how badly I want to be successful in multiple areas of my life, and just supports me basically with whatever I kind of go after. And then I think the worst thing or the hardest thing is probably just the level of competitiveness that we have in our household. Like, it could be the silliest thing and we're so competitive over it, and sparks a lot of little like mini bickering sessions for sure, but it's fun too.
No kidding.
Epic crib battles.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. There's lots on the line there.
Fighting over the last apple. So what was your first impression of myself and CMoore?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I mean, I'm trying to think of when I even first met you guys, but definitely fun. I mean, you guys are amazing, so passionate about the sport, which is so nice to see in Vancouver, to have these, what you guys have done with Side Out and Vancouver Open, and just building that hype and that love for the sport. So I think it's just contagious when you see how much you guys love it and the way that you're bringing that to the youth. I mean, it's amazing. So nothing but love. I think I just see a lot of fun and a lot of passion from you two.
Sweet.
Awesome. Okay, one more question, and I'm throwing this out there because hopefully people watch, and then this might make some people mad. So who is your favorite teammate, indoor and beach? And you can only pick one for each.
Oh, that's so tough.
And you got 45 seconds.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, beach volleyball, definitely Christina. I mean, we played together the longest. We went through so much together, so that's just a no-brainer for sure. Indoor though, holy smokes, so many of my UBC girls, we had so many fun times together. I can't choose one of them. They're like a whole package.
Okay, fine. I'll let you off the hook.
You got 15 seconds. Last piece of advice to the youth out there.
Get out, play, lose a lot, and have fun, and just keep losing until you win. Honestly, you got to fail so much and just figure out a way to be successful.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being a part of this, Jamie.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys.